I'm not taking a video.
Hi, I'm Glenn, and when I began my college search, part of me already knew that I was destined to head to Boston. That's why when I was accepted to Northeastern, I felt like my life was going pretty well. However, it wasn't until I read the fine print that I found out I'd actually been thrown a huge curveball. Instead of spending my first semester partaking in Greek life in the city on a hill, I'd actually be about halfway across the world in the Greek city of Thessaloniki. So yeah, I guess you could say I had a pretty weird intro to college, but let's back up a bit, see how I got here. I was born in Palo Alto, but grew up in Philadelphia. In high school, I was pretty standard Husky material. Good grades, partook in plenty of extracurriculars, the usual. However, I was a bit taken back when I saw instead of going to Boston, I had to spend my first semester in a different country. I was always regarded as a bit of a wild card in high school, so most of my friends and teachers weren't all that surprised. But fast forward past the cheerful goodbyes to childhood friends and sleepless nights, I found myself sitting on a plane with people I only barely knew from Facebook. Little did I know at the time, but these people were going to become some of the closest friends I've ever made. Arriving at Thessaloniki, you could easily see the differences between it and my slice of Philadelphian home. However, the physical differences were only superficial, and the real differences were in the people we met along the way. Despite being in a severe economic recession, the Greek people don't let that weigh them down. They don't hesitate to smile and offer their help to those in need. They're so warm and welcoming that almost immediately, this city I had never heard of before became my life. Sometimes I found my mood the next day was directly influenced by whether or not PAOK, local soccer team, won or not. Before I knew it, Thessaloniki and all of Greece opened up its arms and welcomed us all. Traveling played a huge role in my experience studying abroad. From bouncing around to Virginia to see King Philip II's tomb, the beautiful beaches and crystal blue water at Halkidiki, hiking up Mount Olympus, and just chilling in the Pozar hot springs surely opened my eyes and showed me just how much this country has to offer. In addition to Greece, I even got to visit many of the European cities I've always dreamed of seeing. For instance, how many people can say they went to Brussels and Amsterdam for fall break? Or took a bus to Budapest? And caught an opera in Vienna during a long weekend? Or something weirder. However, since we were only here for a few months, that meant our classes and course load were fairly rigorous and condensed at the American College at Thessaloniki. Nestled in between the rolling hills of the city, ACT was a gem of higher education, filled with passionate professors and students. Not only did ACT develop my education, allowing me to dabble in subjects like computer science, or art, it broadened my social network since it brought me together with people everywhere ranging from Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, and the Balkans. In addition to spending time at ACT, I also spent every Wednesday morning walking down to the Analepsi Church and volunteering in the soup kitchen. There's an extremely comforting and nostalgic vibe whenever you walk through the big double doors leading to the dining hall to prepare food. Helping the less fortunate with a solid meal definitely opened my eyes and helped me become more globally aware. Life in Greece wasn't all work and no play though. There was plenty of time to go around exploring all the little shops, cafes, museums, and popular nighttime hangouts. Being foreigners in a foreign country who knew very little of the native language, we oftentimes found ourselves relying on each other for support, and as a result, I formed some of the closest friendships I've ever had here in Greece. To think that we all started as total strangers to each other, it's crazy. Now, I can't even imagine going a day without them. The bonds I've made since coming here are unforgettable. even though sometimes a detail or two about the night was. Overall, I'm glad I decided to take a leap of faith and give the NUin program a shot. Nowadays, people often call fairly trivial daily events as life-changing, but I truly believe that without these last couple of months, I'd be a different person. I have a new outlook on life and appreciation for the different cultures around Europe. College is often described as some of the best times of your life, and my semester with NUin only solidifies that statement. Living in Greece has taught me some things that schools and classrooms simply can't, and for that, I'll be forever grateful. I'm excited to see what life has in store for me now as I return to Boston and begin the next chapter of my life.